A warm welcome, children. A very important note. From now on, I'll be sending you a video of a particular chapter, which we are going to start in our class next day. All you have to do is watch the video carefully. If you have any doubts, we will be discussing in our class. But you have to watch the entire video and read the chapter once by yourself. Then rest of the activities and other things will be done and discussed in the class. It is going to be fun. So let's watch the video. We are going to start the 5th chapter from our EVS book, that is Animals Around Us. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about different kinds of animals and their eating habits. We will also be discussing about the food chain. Do you remember when you have visited the zoo, you have observed several different types of animals, didn't you? In this chapter, some of our learning objectives are the difference between plant-eating and flesh-eating animals, peculiar feeding habits such as gnawing and chewing of cud by certain animals, and we will be also discussing concept of food chain. So, do you know pet animals? Who are the pet animals? Pet animals are the animals that are kept at home, and they are for the fun purpose. Okay, why does animals move from one place to another? Do you know? Because they need food, water, shelter and oxygen. And that is why they all are the living things. That means the thing that have life in them, and they also grow. First of all, let us understand the definition of living things. Who are living things? Plants and animals are living things, but they are different from each other in many ways. Do you know why? Because all animals cannot make their own food. They are totally dependent on other plants or on other animals. So, on the basis of that, different types of animals are there. And they also have different type of feeding habit or food habit. Let us learn about different kinds of food habits that are shown by different type of animals. So, first of all, there are herbivorous animals, then carnivorous animals, and next is omnivorous animals. Herbivorous animals that eat only plants, carnivorous animals that eat only flesh of other animals, and what about the omnivorous? The animals that eat plants and meat, both of it. We are going to discuss briefly about all these animals in this chapter. Herbivorous animals. Animals that eat only plants, fruits and vegetables are called herbivorous or plant-eating animals. Animals like cow, goat, giraffe, monkey, buffaloes and elephants eat grass and sugarcane only. That's why they are known as herbivorous animals. Next, we are going to discuss about the carnivorous animals. So, animals that eat the flesh of other animals are called the carnivorous or flesh-eating animals. Animals such as lions, tigers, fox eat the flesh of other animals. Next is omnivorous animals. Animals that eat plants as well as flesh of other animals are called omnivorous animals. These are other animals like crow, deer, ostrich which eat plants as well as the flesh of other animals. Do you know human beings can also eat both plants as well as the flesh of other animals? That's why we are also considered as omnivores. Did you ever observe that different type of animals have different type of teeth? Do you know why? Because the shape and structure of the teeth depends on what the animal eats. For example, Herbivores have flat and broad front teeth to bite off leaves and grass. Their strong back teeth help them to chew the food well. Plants' foods are different to break down and digest. So many herbivores have several pairs of broad molars that they use to grind the leaves, shoots, and twigs. Often, herbivores feature ridged molar and jaws capable of moving sideways. Both of these traits help the herbivores to grind their food more effectively. Animals like cows and buffaloes swallow their food after chewing it once. Later, they bring it back into their mouth and chew it for hours. It is called chewing the cud. There are some other examples as well, like the other herbivores, rats and rabbits and squirrels have sharp front teeth with which they bite their food. These animals gnaw the food. This is called gnawing the food. Let us discuss about the carnivores. Carnivores such as tiger, lion and fox, etc. have very sharp, pointed front teeth to tear the flesh. Their back teeth are broad and flat and their jaw is very strong. Let's discuss some interesting fact about some animals. Animals like snakes do not have chewing teeth. They just swallow the food whole. That means they swallow the food entirely. Some insects like the mosquito have long thin tube attached to their mouth. This tube acts as a straw to suck food into their mouth. Now, did you know a frog has long sticky tongue for catching its prey like this? Now, look at the elephant. The trunk of an elephant helps it to break off branches and leaves and push them into their mouth. That is how the elephant eat. Next is dog and cat. Let's learn how they eat their food. Dogs and cats use their tongue to lap up water and milk like this. You can see it in the picture. The last topic that we are going to discuss today is food chain. What is food chain? As you can see it in the picture, food chain is a chain-like structure which flows from one direction to another. Animals and plants depend on each other to live. Plants can prepare their own food using air, water, light. Herbivores eat green plant. A carnivore eats a herbivore. This is like a chain that plants and animals form in the nature. A chain that shows how plants are eaten by animals and then the animals are eaten by another animal is called the food chain. You can see it in the picture. The grasshopper eats the grass. Then the frog will eat the grasshopper as its food. Then the snake will eat the frog. And finally, the eagle will eat the snake. This entire process in the nature is known as the food chain. Let's learn what is the definition of food chain. A chain that shows how plants are eaten by animals and then animals are eaten by other animals is called a food chain. Let's learn some more examples like the grass is eaten by the deer and finally the deer is eaten by the lion. A herbivore eats green plant. A carnivore eats a herbivore. Like this is a chain that plants and animals form in the nature. And this entire thing is known as the food chain. Things to remember. Animals are divided into groups according to their eating habits: herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. Different animals eat differently. They have different type of teeth. Rabbit, squirrel, etc. have sharp front teeth to bite nuts, seed and fruit. Herbivores have flat and broad front teeth to bite leaves and plants. And sharp pointed front teeth of carnivores help them to tear the flesh. So your homework will be watch the video carefully and read the chapter 5. Thank you, children.